Okay, we're here on the Morning Cruise with our first interview for today. So if you listened to, I think it was 2 or 3 weeks ago now, I had an interview with the Eoan Group. And so now they're back again, a repeat appearance here. I have Tyra and Nojus who are here, and they're going to talk about an upcoming performance that I think crosses borders and I think connects the hearts, you know? So Pangea, which is a production from the Eoan Group, is going to bring together acts from sort of around the world from my program in a celebration of unity and culture and collaboration. And it's going to take place on May 15th. And so let's hear a little bit more about it. First of all, hi. How are you guys?
Hi.
We're good.
So you guys work at the Eoan Group, and last time we talked a little bit about what like the Eoan Group was and what you did, but could you just recap a little bit?
So for listeners just listening in for the first time, the Eoan Group is sort of an institution that believes in unifying community through the arts.
I'm short and simple. I like it. And so you guys are in the same program that I'm doing. So you guys are interns/apprentices there. And what does that do on a daily basis? What does that look like?
Yeah, so we get the opportunity to obviously experience the arts world and help with various things, basically, from administration to just meeting sometimes clients to assisting with the events. Now we're also planning an event, which is super nice.
Ooh.
Wow. And so a lot of stuff.
So the event, let's hear about it. This is the main thing, right? So let's talk about it. First off, let's start with the name. It's called Pangea, if I'm not mistaken. So why? Can you explain the process behind that name a little bit?
I can explain the process, how Tyra, not explain, but just say that it was Tyra who thought of this. So let's give her a round of applause. And
Did. So when it came to the name Pangea, we realized that what we wanted to put on was like a show displaying multiple cultures. People come from so many different backgrounds. And so the name Pangea came about because according to some theory of how the world formed, there was this supercontinent with a bunch of different lands, and so then through natural processes it split along the seams, and that's how we have the continents right now. So imagine if all these different lands, all these different cultures were able to reunite and come back together, sort of a reformation of Pangea itself. And so I think that does communicate what we want to get across, collaboration, a global kind of sphere of performers, and then also unity. So yeah,
that's a big goal, but I like it. And I'm excited to see what it. So why, if I may ask, what sort of was the impetus for creating this?
I mean, we have this, we're both in the same program. Yeah, we have 30 plus countries.
See.
And I'm correct. Yeah. So and and we're also in being we are how to say English apprentices in this kind of place like Eoan Group, and there's arts and there's we have people who are doing arts in our cohort as well, and it seemed only how to say not realistic but fair or truth that we could all show this passion and show this all kind of to see that the world is so different but also the same at the same time. And that's how we thought of it.
I feel like that actually is so true. But then also at the same time, Nojus and I were so excited to be working at the Joseph Stone Auditorium. And so the only time when there's a progressive show for the school where they have all these different arts activities and everything happens after we leave. And so we're okay, what can we give back to this community at the same time giving others in our cohort a chance to show up for themselves? And so, that's how Pangea was born.
That's really cool. And so I'm just going to, for the listeners, I'm going to back up a little bit. So the program that we're doing is called Take Action Lab. And essentially there's 50 students from 30 plus countries across the world came here to Cape Town to go intern at various nonprofits and public organizations across Cape Town. And so Tyra and Nojus are in obviously the Eoan Group, and I'm here at Bush Radio. So was there a particular moment that was that made you sort of decide hey, these people are really cool and I want to give them a platform?
Yeah, I mean, more it was like, the platform, but it was also the progression show, because like our supervisors were teasing it about it ever since like, we came there the first day.
Yeah.
And we're like, no, we're leave like, 3 weeks before that? And we're like, we're gonna miss it. But based on the people, we have also like events in our program and stuff. And we see like people dancing, people singing, like half the people I didn't know they can do that, and that's insane. So I really happy to have like be in the space of like such a talented people, and I think also other people and like the whole of Cape Town should see what they're also capable of.
What has been like the most exciting or surprising part of working with your Take Action Lab peers on this project?
Okay, I could take that. I think the most exciting thing that's happened is that I've actually been seeing people like show up and show out like with different like performances. They could just be around the house, like everyone's just chilling. And so I think the most exciting part was the fact that the arts was just like spread out. And so when we had this idea and we're telling our supervisors about it, it was more so like, okay, we could make this into a reality. We could actually formalize everything that we are and everything that we have been for like so many weeks. And I think like that's like the best part because everyone is so talented.
How did the young performers respond to learning like the new styles and stories from other cultures?
I'm gonna pass this to Nojus because he taught a Lithuanian dance workshop, and so he probably knows best. Nojus.
Yeah. Could you repeat the question?
Tell me about the Lithuanian dance course.
Oh, yeah. So, not really. So, like, I come from a country called Lithuania, which is a very small country in Eastern or Northern Europe. And I did a little dance workshop for them, for Eoan Group, which was super nice. Usually people have not heard about that country at all. And then, there's a whole music screaming throughout the whole building and people are dancing the dances I was dancing like 10, 15 years ago. So, and it also shows like, the beauty, I think, of dance and like also the culture, how like, you can find similar steps or similar music beats, both in Lithuanian and South African dance and or like classical dance. And I think that's also like, what we're trying to do here is that like, like the world is so big and so different, but also it's still the world, like, we're the one. So I think that's really beautiful, if that makes sense.
For sure. And what are some like of the biggest challenges to making this performance?
Okay. I think the biggest challenge with any event is sort of knowing exactly what is going to happen and in which order, basically the whole logistics of it. But then also we're in a bit of a time crunch. So we don't have that long until the event. But then I would say the amount of effort people are putting into showing up for rehearsals and perfecting their different activities, I think that definitely helps. But yeah, overall just coordination, but we're a very, I would say, collaborative bunch, so we're good. Yeah,
time organization skills on point.
And so let's talk a little bit more about the Joseph Stone Auditorium, because I think what you said last time you were on the show is that it's a really cool space, and it's a very unique space. So has that like supported the show in any way, and has it made it feel different at all or something like that? Like how? Let me rephrase, because I realized that was a very mismanaged question. But so how is the space sort of played into this idea? Because you talked about the Joseph Stone Auditorium being a place of like sort of community and culture, and it's this big old 500-seater stadium.
See.
So just like give me your thoughts on that place.
Yeah. So when it comes to the role that the place plays. The role that the place plays in being able to house this event in the way that we would want it to, with people from like all sorts of backgrounds, is that it is, as you said, a 500-seater and like a really huge stage, and also with like enough space like in the wings and backstage and enough props, and then very experienced stage managers. And the point of all this is that we do have enough space for us to come on and to present whatever we would like to present, including like the sound systems, the lighting. We're very many people. sort of giving this space, I would say, the shine that it deserves. And then also in the audience, we do have enough space for whoever's interested, like in TAL, whoever's working as staff. And then also whoever is within the Athlone community to just come in and see. And so I would say that does create like the hub for everyone to partake.
Yeah, and like Tyra said before, Joseph Stone Auditorium has been this community place for so long, and we also wanted to be part of it. And we were so happy to have this opportunity as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thanks for being able to sort of parse out my words in that question. That was, it sounds like a really cool space, and I'm excited to go see it. So, once again, the show Pangea is on May 15th, 7 to 9 p.m.
Yep.
So, when you're looking for the audience there, what are you most excited for them to experience? Is there a particular act, or is it something about just the idea of culture? What's the most exciting part for you?
I mean, everything is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be amazing and unexpected. And I honestly, I know the whole program, and I still don't know which one I am excited to see. I am excited to see all of them. Mm-hmm. And that's what we have been discussing with Tyra 5 minutes before this radio show was what is the most exciting thing, because everything is I'm really really in shock. So I don't know. But Tyra, please take my words.
Okay. When it comes to something I want to see, I've already seen these people sort of show up for themselves in different spaces. But I think with the intention that the stage gives for you to therefore speak something out, not into the void, but into the hearts of people that have never encountered you before, I think is a very powerful thing. So I'm not excited to see the specific performances. I'm excited to see the audience's reaction and how that therefore, I would say, transforms a piece of them, because there's always that catharsis that happens within a person, and then they talk to people they haven't talked to before, talking with the performers. And so I think that's my favorite part of a show, the aftermath.
And so I guess you sort of already started to answer this a little bit, but when the final bat happens, right, and the curtains close, what do you want people to take away from this? What do you want it to mean to both the people who perform, but also the wider community?
Yeah, so I could take this question. So when it came to us deciding what we wanted the legacy of this specific show to be, we realized that, of course, while we wanted it to be, we wanted the continuity to be present. We didn't want to just put on a show and be okay, we're leaving. We wanted it to be a sort of culture, to just keep on inviting more people into the space to perform, to exchange ideas, etc. But roundabout back to your question, what I want people to leave, what we want people to leave with at Auditorium that night is the fact that lines on a map don't separate us. It does not matter where we come from, really. We forget so much about our shared humanity sometimes, getting distracted with the bits and ways of life. But if we focus on unity, compassion, community, and love, there's literally nothing that we will not be able to do. So, yeah, I think that's for me. And it's
Wow.
Nojus, is there something you want to add?
Power to the people.
Yeah, couldn't say.
Yeah, we talk a lot on this show about like an Africa without borders, right? That's the goal
Right.
of this in the end. So I'm glad that we're sort of on the same wavelength in that sense.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for that. No, do you have anything to say? That's a hard act to follow.
Yeah, I mean, you're such a beautiful speaker.
Where can people find information of Pangea? Where can people buy tickets?
Okay, so the thing about tickets is that it's actually a free event.
Ah, even better.
Yeah.
That's why you should come see.
Yeah, just please.
Where? When? One more time.
So Joseph Stone Auditorium at Athlone at 7 p.m. May 15th. That's going to be next Thursday. So in 10 days.
Mark your calendars.
Yes.
Is there social media or something that you can follow the Eoan Group, or a website, or?
Yeah. So there's website, there is an Instagram, there is a TikTok as well. So the Eoan Group, that is spelled EOAN, a group of performing arts, theater performance group as well. So you can find all of us there. Yeah.
Well, and you have any last words you want to say? Anything just to the last sell you have for this performance?
I'm pretty sure Tyra did the last song. But yeah, like I said, Eoan Group itself is such a big and kind community. And like whenever I come there, like I feel such a strong presence, and I think that's what I also expect people to come to feel when they come to this event. Is like they not only see the performances, but they also see the aura of Joseph Stone Auditorium and the people there, and that's what I was experiencing for the past 2 months, and I really hope that in one night they also can experience that. Yeah. So that would be so nice.
Yeah.
And Tyra?
Yeah, no, I agree. It's sort of the experience doesn't start when the lights dim and everyone's in the audience, clutching their popcorn or whatever. The experience starts as soon as you step onto the Joseph Stone Auditorium. Like as soon as you step onto that property. Yeah. The people that greet you, the people that help you, the conversations that are to be had. I would say every single thing about that place sort of comes with like an energetic hug, I want to say. And so it isn't just about the performance. It isn't just about us. It isn't just about the fact that we're about to leave. It's mainly about the fact that, okay, we're here all in this present moment. What can we do with that? What can we show each other, etc., etc. And so as we show the audience, we hope the audience can also show us who they are. And yeah, it's sort of like a collaboration kind of show, and I really hope that everyone is able to come in and see it, because seats are flying fast. Like you need to reach out and definitely book your seat. So yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming in. May 15th, 7 to 9 p.m. the Joseph Stone Auditorium. Yeah, that's all I really have. I think it's very cool because Pangea seems not just like a performance, right? It's a sort of a reflection of what's possible when a bunch of young people from multicultural backgrounds come in and sort of come together across borders to share something really beautiful. So to all of you listening, don't miss it, May 15th. We're going to go into some music now before news on the half hour. This upcoming song is called I'm Still in Love with You by Marcia Aitken.